Dan, let's start off with the big picture context and to what extent this release and development is connected to the president's trip, which begins today.
Good morning. Yes, I think it very much is connected. It was announced hastily just 2 days ago as the U.S. president was preparing to embark on this trip, a trip at which he's saying he will drum up major business for the United States. He may also make deals in terms of statecraft. And one of the most pressing crises in the Middle East has been this ongoing war in Gaza that he wants to end. One of the elements of that war has been the plight of remaining hostages held by Hamas in the Gaza Strip. And he sees this release, something he brokered directly with Hamas, which is very unusual in terms of U.S. policy, given that Hamas is deemed a terrorist organization by the United States and many other countries. He sees this move as potentially dislodging that diplomatic logjam around mediated talks between Israel and Hamas for the recovery of all the hostages and the end of that war.
Right, and Dan, what's the quid pro quo for Hamas, and is there a downside here for Israel?
Well, that's an excellent question, because on the face of it, and certainly the Israelis have been a pain to say this, Hamas did not gain anything immediate in terms of a ceasefire from Israel. There was a very short, very local tactical ceasefire in order to enable Edan Alexander to be safely returned from the Gaza Strip. But since his recovery, Israel has resumed and perhaps even redoubled its airstrikes against what it calls Hamas targets in Gaza. The quid pro quo, most obviously for Hamas, is that direct engagement with the United States, the prospect perhaps of Trump compelling the Israelis to enter a deal more favorable to Hamas. Israel, on the face of it, is saying it would be willing to enter new negotiations. However, it insists on its core demands that any end to the war mean an end to Hamas rule and an end to the Hamas arsenal. Now, one thing that's worth watching in terms of the pageantry of this Trump visit is whether, as has been reported in Israel, he actually brings Edan Alexander, maybe other ex-hostages with him to Qatar, which is one of the legs of this visit. Qatar is a country that's been mediating or trying to mediate between Israel and Hamas. It's had troubled relationships. That's worth watching.